So Rick Santorum dropped by CNN yesterday to talk about some of the issues. And one of the things that he brought up was the stance on gay rights compared to, say, the Pope. So let's take a look at some of this discussion.
Your Pope says tolerance is the message of Catholicism when asked about gay marriage and LGBT existence within humanity. He says, who am I to judge? That doesn't work for you. You say you want an amendment that keeps marriage between a man and a woman. Why aren't you more like your Pope?
Well, I don't think the Pope would support the Pope doesn't support a change in the definition of marriage. I mean, he's been perfectly clear about that.
He said, who am I to judge?
Well, that's not what he said.
Focus on tolerance.
He's been very, very, very clear about standing for the definition of marriage. I don't think there's any question about that. What he's talking about, and he's absolutely right, is that we need to respect the dignity of all human life and everybody. We are all broken. We are all sinners. We all make mistakes, and we have to continue to love and support those who fall short of the mark, including me.
And fall short of the mark, you do. So, Rick, how about you start respecting the dignity of LGBT people by getting the fuck out of their lives? Or how about you respect the dignity of women by getting the fuck out of their uteruses? Oh, apparently privacy isn't included in your definition of dignity. How can you claim that you respect dignity when you are actively trying to treat same-sex people, same-sex couples, homosexuals, like second-class citizens? Especially when you're doing it in a secular country filled with lots of people who don't agree with you or your book. Yes, I realize that America is 70% Christian, right? But not every Christian agrees with your narrow definition of Christianity. And in fact, most people, most Americans, have no problem with same-sex marriage. None. And speaking of that, speaking of most Americans, you actually think that you're going to get the Constitution changed? When a majority of Americans say that same-sex marriage is okay, are fine with it, not to mention the Supreme Court, are you that delusional to think that you're going to get 2/3 of the House and the Senate, a supermajority, to get this passed? A supermajority. Or how about 2/3 of the states? Not to mention, you would need 3/4 of all states to ratify this. Absolutely delusional. And okay, and about your statements on the Pope. Now, the Pope's Catholic, right? Now, of course, he's not in favor of same-sex marriage. He's the Pope, the head of the Catholic Church. Obviously, the Catholic Church is not exactly pro-LGBT friendly, right? But he also says that it's not our place to judge other people. Meaning, of course, Catholics, right? It's not Catholics' place to judge. It's God's place. God's the ultimate arbiter. He's the ultimate judge of everything. So we should just, we should leave the judging to him, right? But Rick Santorum can't do that. You see, all Rick Santorum does is judge people. And unfortunately, that's what a lot of Christians do. Not all of them, as I said. But there's a lot of Christians that do nothing but judge. Well, to them I say, look, if you want to be against same-sex marriage, that's fine. You know what you do? You don't get one. It's that simple. You don't get one. In a secular country, you don't get to tell what other people should be doing if it doesn't harm anyone else. This doesn't harm anyone else. It doesn't harm you. It doesn't stop your marriage. So what's the harm? You don't get to say that they can't do this, that they can't have this right. A right that you enjoy. You just can't do it. So if you don't like same-sex marriage, don't get one. But don't act like you're doing this out of some sort of love and respect for the dignity of human life. Because you know what? If you stay in that kind of stuff and treating people like a second-class citizen, you're not fooling anybody about what your real intentions are.